Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup series by Smashcast TV. We have a match here today, the only match of the day, best of 3 between Nasty Potatoes and Happy Feet. It is the last out of the 3 matches remaining for this ProDota Cup SCA. We have this match between Nasty Potatoes and Happy Feet. Tomorrow the winner will fight against Clutch Gamers, Geek Fam, and after that... and after that, the winner of those two will be fighting against MVP Revolution in the grand final. Let's see how they do. Nasty Potatoes and Happy Feet are both fighting for that winners final in the losers brackets. Let's see who takes the cake. My name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today. Let's see what the teams have drafted today. Nasty Potatoes, with the Darkseer, Ursa, Juggernaut, and Lifestealer all banned out, picking up Jakiro, Kunkka, and Luna. Happy Feet banned out Nyx Assassin, the Trim Protector, the Timbersaw, the Tinker, and they pick up a Legion Commander, an Ogre Magi, and a Warlock. So Happy Feet already starting out strong with the Warlock Legion Commander combo. Of course, that insane amount of healing with the Warlock and the Legion Commander deals to some pretty insane off lanes, which are hard to deal with, especially with a Luna, someone who has a low attack range that can easily be harassed by a Legion Commander as soon as they get to her with the moment of courage, and of course that press the attack to not only take away the Kunkka slow or the Jakiro slow, but also the Luna stun to some degree if it does hit on the Warlock. Happy Feet will go with a classic though. They've played this before. They want to probably play as a carry, just judging by how Happy Feet have been running this guy, and it's going to be a Razor for them. I mean, after all, Razor against the Kunkka is pretty powerful because of the fact that the X marks the spot can't be used on Razor so reliably, because X marks the spot usually, I know this is weird, but you usually rely on the fact that X marks the spot has much more range than Torrent. So walking up to the Razor so that you can actually hit him with Torrent, not that easy once you have the Purge of the Unstable Current on, which lasts a whole 2 seconds. You might not be able to do the combo immediately, you might have to wait a bit longer. Moreover, you do have the Legion Commander to help out the Razor, and since he's a really tanky hero, X marks the spot even with a stun is not that effective. Though, like I said, you can always go for the BKB, and the Juggernaut still seems like a great option for the carry position if Happy Feet do want to run that instead of the Razor, but of course, it's up to them. In the mid lane, I wouldn't really run anything that's not the Razor, frankly, because you don't know what they're up against in Nasty Potatoes. They ban out the Lina first, probably one of the biggest issues, but not if you're with a Razor, so I can only imagine that they're probably picking something else. Maybe something along the lines of a Puck or even an OD. Earthshaker for Nasty Potatoes is probably going to be the offlaner here, combined with the Kunkka Jakiro support. He offers a lot of aggression, and you can actually run the 2 supports here, Kunkka Jakiro together with Earthshaker for a nice triple off, aggressive tri-lane, sorry. Or even the Earthshaker alone for an aggressive tri-lane with Kunkka Jakiro and Luna, which seems like a more reasonable thing in the best of 2 worlds. Because if you do run an aggressive tri-lane with Earthshaker, you're going to lose a lot of your lane, or Luna's not going to get any farm. Whereas if you do run, say, like a dual lane, or maybe not even, just a solo lane Earthshaker alone in the bottom lane, where you can still farm the jungle because of his new enchant totem and how powerful it is, and of course an Iron Talon. Then you can still have the Kunkka and the Jakiro join the Luna, win the lane for her, and whatever you're up against, you should be able to beat it, especially if it's up against a Razor, because Luna is quite fast and can break the static link without much issue. So Nasty Potatoes is probably going to run that. Now they're just missing a mid laner that can run on his own. A Puck, for example, looks like a good idea here for Ponlo. The Tinker has already been banned, so Puck, honestly, for Ponlo is not a bad idea. You're up against a Legion Commander, so being able to silence her is very powerful. Similarly with the Warlock and the Razor, because they both, Razor relies a lot of movement, so Dream Coil is insanely strong on him. Of course, you're never going to stop at initiation, but putting him in a Dream Coil makes it so that Razor can't really steal as much as he would like. He doesn't really steal that much from you, because, of course, if they lose Reorb, the Phase Shift doesn't do anything against Razor. And, like I said, the Warlock against the Silence is surprisingly weak. Mainly because you can actually just go behind him and well, stop him immediately. Let's see what Nasty Potatoes pick up as their 5th pick, though. This is interesting. Their mid is most commonly Ponlo, but they could run something different. In fact, that Tinker seemed like a slightly better pick, especially if you're running against a Razor. It really depends on if you're against a Razor or not. The Queen of Pain is the choice for them. Another pick that's popular for Ponlo. A bit more burst damage in the Puck. A bit less control, though, but stronger with the Legion Commander, especially in a snowball strategy, and Nasty Potatoes might want to run. Happy Feet still have the option of the Puck themselves, and with a Waning Rift is quite powerful. They don't want to run the Razor mid, but I do like that Razor mid for Happy Feet, especially when you're up against a Shadow Striking Quap, because Razor is actually surprisingly strong against that. She can blink defensively to stop your static link, but your static link, well, I mean, if you play properly and if you play quite aggressively Razor in the mid lane, you should be able to beat her. But like I said, Happy Feet almost always pick, say, carry Razor, and then a mid Silencer now is the choice for them. Yeah. What do you... With the new Ags, honestly, Silencer is much more powerful against heroes like Luna, who usually grab BKB, because now your glaives do trespass the BKB. You still want to go for Bradavetos, but Bradavetos also goes through BKB unless you activate it to dispel it. And, of course, the Hurricane Pike, which, again, goes through BKB, at least on... well, does not go through BKB, the spell itself, but, of course, if they haven't activated BKB, it's pretty easy to hit them with Hurricane Pike, and at that point, you don't really care. It's definitely an Ags game, this game, because of the possibility of a BKB on the Luna. And of course, the increase in damage against silenced targets, which encourages you to get an Orchid, for example, against a Queen of Pain, which is never a bad idea, even though your last word and your global silencer are still pretty powerful. Honestly, the extra damage for the Axe is not really that great, but you do want the BKB piercings just so you can deal with the Luna. Because the idea here, I suppose, is Razor deal with the Luna. And why that's a great idea is because Razor only has movement speed, and Luna only has movement speed. But Razor has a bit more of movement speed because of his unstable current and his traditional build of either going for a Hurricane Pike for mobility or a Yasha for mobility. So, because of that, the Razor's usually going to be able to outrun the Luna and follow her to wherever she's going, thus stealing all her damage. And Luna does rely a lot on her own damage. She doesn't have any sort of base damage source that helps her, but, well, her own. And, of course, that Lunar Blessing is not as powerful as the game goes on. And, well, that's not bad. It only crashed once in the whole drafting phase. That's pretty impressive, Dota. Thanks, man. Apparently, that update really did help out. Who knew? Who knew? Let's see. I'm just finishing the load. Sorry about this, guys. It's really, like I said, it's not really an issue of the stream or anything. I really can't optimize further than Dota. Right, at this point, they just have to bet better Dota for me. Eventually, I'll get it. I do have the highest end system money can buy, so I'd be hard-pressed to believe that it's just not an optimization issue. Right. Crimson in the top lane is fighting against Jules alone. This is actually a really dangerous idea for the Ogre Magi. You do not carry such a powerful slow as the Jakiro does. Yet you do not fight against a dual breathing Jakiro. Especially, oh, with the help of the Kunkka. There it is. Catches Yaj with a torrent. Yaj has the overwhelming odds against a little bit of movement speed, but isn't bad because Paul finally joined the fray. And Yaj is going to go down first. First blood, they say, as Crimson takes it. And for now, Happy Feet, a very weird team fight. Not aware of how much power these guys have level 1. Nasty Potatoes have some of the better level 1s in the game. Shadow Strike is insane level 1. Dual Breath is really powerful. So is Lunar Blessing. Gives you 14 damage to Jakiro, making him one of the highest attack supports in the game. With 71 base attack damage without any Eden. It's insane. Eden similarly also benefits a lot from that, but he also brings the Torrent, which is a stun and a slow within the same cost ability. And oh, Eden and Jo start hitting each other. Jo actually manages to steal the enemy rune, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, why? Or how did he even go there? I suppose they just read the idea that the first blood happened in the enemy base, so they thought, well, this is my time. This is my moment. I'm Jo. And with only 26... With only 26 damage total, it's not really that big a deal. You don't want to confront the Kunkka with just that. Notice that the guys from Nasty Potatoes are running the Kunkka in the mid game just to start off with. And they're actually not going to run a offensive tri-lane against a Razor, which is a smart idea. They're going to run an offensive or a defensive tri-lane against a Legion Commander and possibly a Warlock as the game progresses, but mostly a Legion Commander to begin with. And the Ogre Magi may be helping out a bit. I don't find the Warlock too powerful in combination with the Razor, so hopefully they're just trying to get an XP and get some pulls. Warlock is better at doing that because Ogre Magi is much more powerful level 1, so let Warlock do the pulls and Ogre Magi roll a bit and then they change positions because, like I said, the Warlock Legion is a ridiculously strong lane. Right, that said, we forgot to present the team, so we didn't really forget, but there was not really much time with the whole restart Dota and everything. So, oh, careful, Torin. Is he going to land on Yaj? No. Alright, so let's put some things real quick before we go on with the game. My name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today. And on one side we have the Happy Feet guys, Jesse Vash on the Warlock in the support position, the mid lane with Ben-Hur on the Silencer. On the Razor is going to be Mr. Jayo. And in the top lane we have Jules on the Ogre Magi, and then finally the Legion Commander played by Yash. And the Ogre Magi is already down thanks to Nasty Potatoes damage. In fact, they want to go on to Yash as well, but Yash is a bit too tanky here. So, Nasty Potatoes now. On their side, on the Dire side, we have an Earthshaker played by Death Sama in the offlane position. The first support is Crimson on the Jakiro. Second support is the Kunkka played by Eden. Here in the carry position, we have a Luna played by TMT. And finally, on the Queen of Pain, it's Ponlo in the mid lane. Right, that makes me feel a bit better. Feels like we did it. Good job, guys. Woo! Alright, cool. So, that said, currently this is a pretty important match for both teams, as like I said, if whoever loses the best of 3 goes out of the tournament, eliminated completely, and whoever wins gets to play in the losers brackets finals, thus able to, well, at least have a chance against MVP Revolution. You don't come with an extra game or anything of the sort, much like MVP Revolution do, and it's going to be a really hard game. Both these teams have faced MVP Revolution and not done too well, and they also have to beat Geek Fam, a team that excels at the whole Razor carry thing, which Happy Feet has been trying out these past few days. But, well, it all really all depends on execution. And of course, getting a bit farther in this tournament, getting 3rd place is pretty important, because the prize pool changes considerably for that. I think it's almost nothing to considerable amount. Oh, Torrent does the Legion actually doesn't have pressing time to dispel the Torrent damage or the slow, and Yaj will end up going down to Luna's damage. That is too much with Luna wrestling, but in comes Jakiro, wants to get kill on Jules. They have to stun him out. Jakiro might actually go down, but Crimson tries to run away, not gonna be able to do so. TMT meanwhile keeps hitting the Ogre Magi and is not phased out by the Ignite, knowing that Eden could just catch him out with an X marks the spot plus Torrent. And yeah, well, it seems like Happy Feet have it all under. Seems like Nasty Potatoes have it all under control. This aggressive trial is working really well for them. They are getting the kills they need, but the issue is Happy Feet somehow is getting more farm. And where is that located? Mainly in the mid lane, where the Silencer is crushing this Queen of Pain. Probably that Curse of the Silence, very powerful early on, and then one level of Glaives of Wisdom. And Ponlo almost dies there. He was even forced to use a blink during the Curse of the Silent. He might actually just go down. 18, 3, and there's Ponlo. Dead, and extra intelligence for Mr. Silencer because he got the kill. So, pretty happy with that, of course. And that was impressive for Ben-Hur. Or that's just how powerful the Silencer can dominate the lane. In the mid lane, when you leave him alone, it's pretty good. That's why they're running this offensive dual lane in the top lane, where Yaj is actually dealing a lot of damage. Sure, Yaj is dying a lot, but you're securing a good lane for Ben-Hur, unless Ponlo does this. In which case, Ben-Hur, I'm pretty sure, is dead, unless, okay, that's a salve. Might he be able to save him? Yes, salve cures through Shadow Strike. No, it does not. It actually improved. They improved it. Okay. But he should still be able to survive here, just based on the small curing he got through the salve. Good job, Ben-Hur. Good job. But like I said, Silencer really dominates the lane, so what they're doing here is forcing the supports to not be able to rotate to the middle lane, because he's also easily gankable, because there's no escape mechanism on Silencer. And with a blink, an offensive blink is almost a guaranteed kill on Silencer if you do have a support around. So you don't want them to be able to rotate, especially the Jakiro is an issue. So you make it so that Yaj is much more vulnerable and dies much more often. And of course, with his press attack or roaming on and whatnot, should be able to resist quite a lot of punishment and even get a couple kills out of it, like this one, for example. Jules getting the kill on Eden, pretty happy with that. The Xbox spot doesn't really do much against Jules. And here the point is, it's still a kill for a kill. It's early on. The net worth difference doesn't change too much, granted, because Legion Commander, first of all, doesn't need too many levels, and second of all, is on it, or doesn't need too much gold, sorry, and second of all, the levels are okay, you do want them, but you're getting experience anyway from getting kills, so you're kind of fine. Level 3 on the Ogre Magi, level 4 on the Luna, you're actually not that much off. You only want to be able to match the enemy carry just so you can beat them in his own game. And like I said, Ben-Hur then gets pretty much a solo lane against Ponlo, and one more Curse of the Silent would have killed Ponlo there. One last word. I'm surprised he went for 2 levels of Glaives of Wisdom over the level in last word, just because you get a silence. That's not your ultimate, but oh well. Crimson, oh, they see the courier, but then that's not the objective. The objective is the Jakiro, the annoying Jakiro, hitting with level 2 Ignite already. Not a single level of Bloodlust. Interesting build for Jules. And sees the courier, that wants to kill the courier. Maybe that was the wrong choice. Crimson dual breaths him, and now Eden comes in with the X mark spot. Easy Torrent. Jules is going to be sent into the air, brought back down, and subsequently killed by TMT. They even leave him the kill, knowing that they have to take some advantage of what the enemy team is doing. I think the Nasty Potatoes have realized what Happy Feet is trying to do in winning this mid lane, and they realize they need to give some farm or some sort of snowball to this Luna in the carry position. If she doesn't start getting those last, or sorry, those last hits for the kills, she's not going to be getting that much farm, because the assist gold between 3 is quite deplorable. Between 2 is alright, because of course, even though it's the early game, it doesn't divide that much, but when it's 3, it's too many people. And now they've actually managed to dominate this lane, they're going to rotate mid with a couple levels. This strategy of Happy Feet maybe it's not working as well as they expected, because they're going to be facing a Jakiro and a Kunkka both with level 3. That means a level 2 dual breath and level 2 X marks the spot. So easy setup, and of course a ridiculous amount of damage. And now an invis rune from Crimson. Or he could grab an invis rune, chooses not to, apparently. They're going to leave it there? They're going to leave it there for Palm, I can only imagine. Yeah, because he does have a bottle. The Silencer has no bottle because he's had to go for Pure Midas first of all. Which is not a bad idea, of course. Silencer needs a lot of items to be able to be relevant. Oh, Death Sama, there's the TP right under his tower, but gets stopped by a quick Fire Blast. Death Sama is going to die under his towers to J.O.'s damage. Really good usage of the Static Link early on, knowing they could stop that TP, and of course, forcing him to TP under the Razor's attack. That was really smart, because you use Static Link under tower, you know that, I mean, this guaranteed he's going to die for it, and you don't want the Razor to die for it, so you TP immediately before he has enough damage for you, and boom! That's when you get him. That's when you kill him. Because you obviously got the Fire Blast the whole time, and that was all planned. That's the point. You had the Fire Blast the whole time, you wanted to force the TP out, and then once you cancel the TP, you know there's no other way he can escape you. So, because you have the Ignite, first of all, and you also have the Razor being incredibly fast, and the Earthshaker being a literal cow. So, you're able to just kill her off quickly. Well, there's to be another pot by the Jakiro, and they're top lane. Can they kill Yaj? It's an interesting question. You do have an upheaval from the Warlock. The X marks the spot is going to put the Legion in a difficult position, yes, certainly, and you're going to be hit by the dual breath almost entirely. Oh, almost for sure. And TMT is going to hit you with a Lucent Beam. That's a lot of damage. But you heal the dual breath entirely with the press the attack. And you also have the Shadow Word to start healing you, which I'm assuming they're going to use right now. Eden is not going to be able to get the kill on the Warlock. I mean, no, there's no way. You're also going to dispel some of the Torrent slow, or the Torrent slow as a whole, by using the press the attack. If they do combine it with the dual breath, which I'm pretty sure they're going to do, because there's no other way of getting a safe dual breath onto Yaj. And, of course, then you have to fight the upheaval, which is going to be a pretty big area, probably around this whole thing. Yep. Yeah, this whole thing area. Which is pretty, I mean, you can see in the map, it's quite a big area that the upheaval is going to be able to cover. And the Luna only has, like I said, movement speed to really take her place. It's not really blinking. But we'll see. We'll see. Legion Commander, X marks the spot. And behind, and there's to start healing her. The dual breath first. Oh, that's not combined with the Torrent. Very small. Another press attack to take away all the damage. And also the overwhelming loss to get some extra movement speed. But he's being body blocked intelligently. Yaj might actually survive thanks to Jesse Vash's upheaval. They can't really chase him. Yaj was really close to dying there, but got a very lucky moment of courage there. And of course, a good use of the press attack. Jesse Vash is going to go down with the Torrent damage. In comes the Razor. Jesse Vash cures himself thanks to the Shadow Word, and TMT TP's away in time. They have no way of canceling this TP, but J.O. with 99 damage does now just want to leave. He wants to do something with his damage. Farms a bit, gets a couple assets, and now is proceeding to go to the tower. No, it's this time to go down bottom lane. Only has phase boots -7. Frankly, it's not the most farm I've ever seen. Oh, Ogre Match in the bottom lane as a TP. They have a way to stop it, of course. Earthshaker. He always is stunned for you. Jules was very hopeful there. Has a magic stake, should be able to cure himself up, but enough to TP. I mean, he's dead anyway. Just wasted magic just charges, and also an infused range up charge for the sake of him dying anyway. That was not a good usage of the magic stake. Just die and not waste your valuable items. It's not 3-2-2. It's physically impossible because no team has won yet. Okay, he is maxing Laser Wisdom next. Wow, with only 2 damage, I don't think that's that much of... well, I mean, they did buff it like a lot of patches ago to make it 90 or 80% damage, which is not bad, but of course, in the early game, you do really want to have the magic burst damage that you can offer against the Queen of Pain. I'm really surprised at the lack of silence that the Silencer is going for. If you go for Last Word, you get a silence that might not be the best thing in the world, sure, but it's better than... It certainly is better than, you know, not having a silence at all. Or only relying on your global silence if you ever want to use a silence. That does not seem like the bright idea, even if you are silencer carrying Glaze of Wisdom. I mean, get 1 level off. Is that extra level really dealing that much damage? That extra 15% that you get? Currently, 15% of your intelligence is... Okay, wait, careful. They're going in the top lane. The Eden has an X-Marks spot ready for Jesse Vash or for Yaj. Seems like Yaj is the target. Torrent is going to hit Jesse Vash right up, and goodbye to the clarity. Really well placed Torrent. Eden going to TP away, knowing that he can't really fight this as Silencer joins into the lane. Okay, let me just see. Silencer currently has around 65 intelligence, right? Which is slightly more than 50. So 15% of that gives you a bit more. Let's say it gives you around 10 damage per glaive, right? 10 damage per glaive, more or less. Whereas Last Word gives you 150 damage. 10 damage is pure, granted, so 150 damage is not that much. The 150 damage level 1, mind you. So 150 damage level 1 would require... Oh, careful, Jules is dead. Sonic Wave. Oh, never mind, he has a stun. He's able to survive Sonic Wave. There it is, committed finally. Pawn Load is going to TP away. They have no way of canceling TP. And the everlasting problem of Razor that the TPs just counter you completely. Right. Like I said, so 10 damage, 150 magical damage reduced by 25% is around 130, more or less. It's not 130, it's around 120, sorry, more or less. A bit more. I mean less, I mean, but whatever. Let's just say 120, more or less. So you need 12 attacks from Ben-Hur to make the Glaze of Wisdom worth it over 1 Last Word. And you also don't get a silence with it. Yeah, there's no way. From a mathematical standpoint, there's no way that the Glaze of Wisdom are more valuable. There's absolutely no way. 12 attacks. I mean, I guess you can do more than 12 attacks in the Last Word arrangement. Yeah, 12 while it's not cool then. But still, fucking the silence seems like the stupidest thing in the world. Alright, 7 intelligence as opposed to the 4 armor. He's just going full carry and he's just determined to go full carry. Jayo now with a Bloodlust going to be helped considerably. It's only Bloodlust, I guess, at level 1. These are very weird builds that the guys from Happy Feet are going for, I'll admit. I'm not concentrating too much on Nasty Potatoes, because why would you not max Bloodlust first? That tends to be the build, especially with a Razor, who gets so much help from it, or a Legion Commander. But they're choosing not to. It does seem like Happy Feet is still winning in terms of net worth, which is impressive, by the way. And Podlo. Podlo's going for just traditional build. Yeah, 2 points of Shadow Strike early on. You can back Scream of Pain, of course, and you then get points into Blink. And then go for the early Veil Discord for the extra armor and whatnot. Oh, really good Veil Discord plus Fissure. Now the Ice Path, they stuck him completely. They have no way of saying Ben-Hur. He has no escape mechanism. They use the Global Silence way too late, and they destroy him in time. But with the Global Silence will come a duel. However, they realize that Global Silence is already gone. And Happy Feet will not be able to get a counter kill for this. In fact, they lose the Silencer for absolutely nothing with a beautifully placed Fissure. The Ice Path to ensure that he didn't know that he was actually stopped there, so he couldn't really Global Silence in time. And... well, that did not work out for them. Duel is available on the Sama. Use the overwhelming also get a bit of extra damage. Also the movement speed, but he's not able to use it just yet. Eclipse has actually come out, and the Legion Commander is about to commit suicide herself. Shadow Word to save her life. Ooh, the upheaval will stop TMT right in his tracks. He can't use the last lucid beam. Jayo just wanted to fight. He steals away 42 damage for the Luna, and in goes Yash. Sonic Wave actually hits Jayo and Yash. Jayo is about to go down. Duels use the last second, actually kills the Kunkka, but already lost Jayo there. Yash is to fight alone against 3. Not the best of options for him, and Pablo will end up finishing him off just with auto attacks. In the end, Happy Feet lose 2, and that's 2 cores, by the way. A carry and an offlaner. Earlier they lost a mid as well, whereas Nasty Potatoes lose absolutely nothing in that engagement. Well, okay, fine. Let's be honest. They also support in an offlaner, but the offlaner is not as relevant because an Earthshaker, after all, he's more of a supporty offlaner rather than him being, you know, like the Legion Commander who needs the Blink Dagger at a certain time and whatnot. Also, his Blink Dagger will be at a perfect time. And they didn't lose the carry, which is the most important part. Luna's going to start snowballing out of control. And look at that. X-Mark the spot, Torrent, easy kill. Eden is utilizing this Kunkka very well. Jules has been fissured and stopped right in his tracks. If you're playing against a Kunkka and you have only heroes that rely on mobility, Razor, Silencer, Legion Commander, Ogre Magi, Warlock, and none of them have any escape mechanisms or even great positioning. Their whole point is really to rely on how fast they can walk and how fast they can slow the enemy team, bar how fast they can up their movement speed, like Ogre Magi with his Bloodlust, a static current on the unstable current on the Razor. Sorry, I don't know why I'm calling it static current. The Legion Commander with her press attack and of course the overwhelming odds, and the Silencer finally when he gets a 4-step. So you don't really rely on like I said, traditional blinks or anything of the sort. So Nasty Potatoes with that is so very happy. The Kunkka is a huge counter to these kind of picks, and it surprises me that Happy Feet decided to keep picking them even after seeing the Kunkka so early in the draft, considering that, like I said, even though the combo against Razor is not the easiest to make because it's Purge, it's not hard on him. And he's been countered by that good stun. Now the silence up to the Queen of Pain. This could be the kill they're looking for, but of course Queen of Pain just walks off and nobody helps Jayo. Mateo might have just died. Echo Slam, now the boat committed. The boat didn't even land, they didn't need it. The damage against Razor was too much. Now Macropire just to cut down some trees, and Jesse Vash will be torrented up in the air and subsequently destroyed by the power of Nasty Potatoes, where they will take another kill against enemy carry, lowering his farm even further. The Silencer is doing fine because he has a Midas, but he has no items, and the Luna with a Mask of Madness already deals way too much damage. They already found someone out. Duel is actually caught on the Kunkka, and they finish off the Kunkka in time. They will. TNT could have joined in with an Eclipse, but it was a bit risky, and it's only level 1 Eclipse, so maybe not the best of ideas. Ponla wasn't even anywhere near. And Ponla's going for Yule Scepter now, just to take away that silence. Very smart. I like the build with the Yags, honestly, over the build Discord, if I'm honest. But in this game, you don't really have too much of a peak EV, so it makes sense that you don't want to go for the Yags as often. Ags is an early item. It's really useful because the stats they give you is really good, similar to how Veil of Discord gives you great stats. But on top of that, you also get that 40-second Sonic Wave, which, in my opinion, is a better than the Veil of Discord increase.
Three, four.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4.
1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. 1, 1, 1.
Anyway. So, like I said, right now the guys from Nasty Potatoes do have a good control of the game, mainly because of the fact that they do have a draft that favor them their mid game a bit further, and then their draft went exactly like they wanted to. Your fighting gets a Silencer and a Razor, but you got ways to counter both the Silencer and the Razor pretty early on, which is great for you. Your Luna is farm, which is what you were looking for the whole time, despite the fact that she doesn't have a Midas. You went for Mask of Mana, is still pretty powerful, has been able to engage in a lot of kills, which is important, and the Kunkka pick has worked out. And this is a really big issue with Kunkka picks. I mean, we see him a lot in SCA especially. Eden seems to prefer this guy, or really like him for some strange reason. But, I mean, he's not a bad hero by any means, but he does require a lot of ability in the early game to be able to play well. If you don't snowball well, if you don't get much in the early game, even though you do have a Tidebringer, you usually don't like going for the Tidebringer because the whole point of the Kunkka support is that you want to max out the turret and the X marks the spot, or at least early on. Later on, Tidebringer is pretty useful to farm a bit, but the whole thing is you have no way to recover really. The turret is not good enough to recover against creeps, and you do rely on getting kills on the enemy team to get levels and experiences, and gold. As you can see, the Kunkka is actually level 7, which is the same as Ogre Magi, someone who's losing the game. Now, J.O. Fisher misses. There's a static link. We'll catch up with Jakiro, though, enough damage stolen. The Macropire being used. They're committing to this. Eclipse used, but oh, the Razor's taking way too much damage from the Macropire. He's only one hit away from death, but they can't find him as to kill the Jakiro, and you manage to do so. Also, Eden, the duel catches out the Earthshaker, and Deathsama will die third, and somehow Razor's still alive. This human tank got saved by a mistaken X marks the spot that put him again in the Macropire, but then took him away from the Eclipse damage, and they get a 4-man wipe here against the guys of Nasty Potatoes. It turns out the game turns around the game completely, puts Jayo in the driver's seat in this game, of course, because now they realize how strong a Razor is, even without many items, and the Leech Commander is closer to the Blink Dagger, being able to just be much more relevant. The Razor is actually going for such an old build, though. Mechanism on Jayo. Cannot even imagine that being Guardian Graves. I think that's just Mechanism. I mean, that is weird, because it doesn't really allow you to spam your plasma field as much, and your intelligence gate is pretty good, frankly, on the Razor. because you're for an agility carry 1.8 is pretty good, but it's not good enough that you can just spam plasma fueled mechanism as much as you want and you'd be cured. Obviously, you still need a certain other item to help you out. Maybe Shiva's the build here, or Ag perhaps. Also gives you a lot of regen. Essentially, you can't just go for something Yasha right now. After a mechanism, you can't just go for something Yasha. The build would be Shiva's or Ags or Scythe of Ice maybe if you want to go for that. Force Staff Hurricane Pike is also a good idea. Okay, himself steaming through going for mechanism and Guardian Greaves. Okay, so that's going to be the counter to the Razor. That's going to be a much later mechanism. Granted, this mechanism, I realize, is 17 minutes in. That's insanely late for a mechanism on the Razor. And this whole time I thought that Luna was farming well, but no, she's actually just farming better than everyone else because everyone else is farming poorly. 17 minutes in and nobody surpasses the 10,000 net worth lead. Nobody surpasses the 500 gold per minute lead either. And very few people should even surpass the 400 mark. Only 2 of them actually. Or 3. That's not good. I mean, for SCA, I suppose it's pretty good because you're used to these kind of low farming speeds. But oh, Xbox spot catches Jayo. He does have a mechanism, but that mechanism heals him nothing. For him, the Yule Scepter him, the Queen of Pain, careful, the silence comes out, and this could be an easy duel for Mr. Yash, but of course he doesn't want to commit to this just yet because there's nobody else around him. Bonlo still blinks forward, wants to find Jayo, they stop him from the fissure, and this Razor is as good as dead. They already failed Discord to him, he tries to kill damage from the Queen of Pain, the Ice Path plus Macapire come out and they catch up just Jesse Yash for now. The Poto will stop Yash right in his tracks, and Yash can't do anything against the Eclipse. Great Echo Slam, but that Echo Slam only hits the creeps. They actually got dealt a lot of damage just from the Fatal Bonds, I can only imagine. And the Fatal Bonds and, of course, that overwhelming odds. Yeah, okay. That Echo Slam was just barely in range to deal enough damage to Lich Commander to kill her off, which was a good idea. That's why I said great Echo Slam, because it was worth it in that situation. Now, BKB... No, Dragonlance some TMT, that's good. It's going to help him out considerably in terms of stats. And also, to some degree, have some mobility that isn't just your movement speed. Consider the fact that, of course, the Luna here relies on her right now just being really fast. Like I said, the Razor doesn't care about that. You get a Hurricane Pike, you stop that completely. That's pretty good. And of course, the late game, especially if the Silencer doesn't get much intelligence, is kind of beneficial to you. The Hurricane Pike is really good on the Silencer, which is why he's going for it first. And once he gets it, he's going to be much more powerful. But you do rely a bit on your intelligence stolen coming the mid to late game, because your intelligence gain is good, but it's not the best in the game. 2.5. Your agility gain is actually better than your intelligence gain. Your strength gain is pretty good too. 2.5 again, like I said. So overall, what you're relying on a Silencer is to get more intelligence based on the stolen intelligence, and since you're not doing any of that because you haven't barely gotten any kills and you went for a Midas build, it's not really helping you too much. And as a result, the Silencer, when it comes to the late game, will not be able to fight the Luna head on, especially because he has to go for Yagin to stop the Luna. Otherwise, I assure you, he deals no damage. That Laser Wisdom does not pierce that spell ability, and once Luna gets PKB, she's going to be safe from all harm. Even though she's going for Hurricane Pike first, I'm assuming BKB. Okay, Eden, what are you doing? Xbox the spot to a difficult position. The duel's gonna catch him anyway, and Eden is dead. Yash getting 30 points in his duel damage, and happily strolling away. What do you call a happy Legion commander with 30 points in duel? Yash. Alright, Ponlo sees the Razor, can stop him with the Yule Scepter, is questioning his choices, because maybe that's not the best of options right now. They give him out Bloodlust, good on Silencer, with the extra agility and the nice BAT that he has, it's pretty beneficial. Ben-Hur, oh careful, the Fissure, the Veil of Discord as well, the Ice Path stops him in his tracks, down the Macropire, he's getting dealt a lot of damage, the Dual Breath even helps him, but they take away the damage from the Dual Breath with the Press the Attack, saving his life, or probably not going to die anyway, but of course, the extra healing is always welcome. Ben-Hur survives, and a Macropire got wasted. Granted, it's a very low cooldown spell, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 whole minute after wait, not that big a deal, they didn't commit Eclipse or anything big like that, but it's still something, you know, at the expense of what you're... A simple Hurricane Pike by you and a Press the Attack by a Legion Commander, you're fine. That's not that big of a commitment for you. But I wonder what his next item is. Probably Rod of Atos. Rod of Atos is the item for Silencer. I mean, ever since it got buffed, this is so much better. Now that it gives strength, a bit of agility, which is always so not bad for a Silencer because he hits faster. And of course that extra intelligence, which is always so welcome on a Silencer, especially a Silencer that's so goddamn poor. Now, in the bottom lane, Ponlo, I think, oh, never mind. I thought there was a Lich Commander here, but turns out Lich Commander's mid, so it's fine. Jo himself has decided to go for BKB straight up, just to counter the Ponlo damage. It is a way to stop the Queen of Pain build, where she decides to go for the Veil of Discord and then the Orchid. So by stopping before Queen of Pain, the weakness or the strength that she had really was that you could go for the BKB and you still wouldn't stop her because you still every 40 seconds would receive that damage from the Sonic Wave, and that would hurt as fuck as pure damage, of course, and it would even increase it. So I would say every 40 seconds, I believe it was, you get 555 damage of pure damage. And you still have your auto attack of the Orchid. That's really annoying. Right now with the Diagonals, you don't really have that option, so of course the auto attack doesn't still hurts you because they have the Orchid, but the magical damage is completely shrugged away, and so is the silence if they do actually use the silence onto you. It's not a bad pickup to go for BKB. You override for mechanism. Seems like you're going for a full build of well, Tech Razor, and you went for the 15 agility early on, which not only gives you 2 armor but also gives you a considerable amount of damage in the early game. 15 agility is pretty much having a Diffusal minus a Blade of Alacrity, which is not bad for free, honestly. And with that, Nasty Potatoes can't do as much. Of course, the BKB also stops the Kunkka and the Jakiro, which I think is probably the main targets, Kunkka, Jakiro, and Earthshaker, rather than the Queen of Pain, frankly. But it's not bad against anyone. It's just a useful item in general, this game. And the stats it gives you is not bad either. The silencer bought anything? No, so he's still staying at the 1300 range. I wonder what his next item is. I really wanted to go for Atos, but he might be thinking of a BKB perhaps, just to stop and allow him to have a bit more resistance. Maybe something a bit crazy like a Scythe of Vice or a Shivas. The Shivas would not be a bad idea against Luna, I guess, but they do have a lot of magical damage, so it seems like a bit of a waste. More on the Razor of the Shivas, so you can just slow the enemy team down, which is very important on the Razor rather than just the armor that it gives you. The Silencer already has a really nice agility gain as well. 3 per level means that you get an agility every... Agility should be every 7 points, if I'm not mistaken. So... Or, what armor? 7 points in agility gives you 1 armor, if I'm not mistaken, unless they changed that recently. So that should be every 2 1/3 of a level, right? 2 1/3 of a level, so every 6. Oh, careful, Paulo is gonna be dueled here. Ice Path as well, and now the Macropyre. So much damage coming onto the Yaj, and he is surviving that like a champ. Paulo is actually gonna survive as well, so nobody died here. The duel had no follow-up, of course. That Ice Path and Macropyre was by the same team, in case you didn't notice. Yaj was actually taking damage from that. It wasn't really Paulo. That's why Paulo didn't die. Oh, Boast is going to hit the Ogre Magi, though the Fissure available. They don't want to continue this. There's the Ice Path, but the Skunk is rump, so that someone's actually really tanky here. Deyo in the backline fighting against Eden, but he gets torrented up, so he can't really kill Eden in time. And now the Earthshaker will do the same, TPing away and not being stopped by anyone, because Happy Feet or Nasty Potatoes have figured out the best counter to Happy Feet strategy. TPs. What was I saying earlier? I feel like I was talking about someone. Huh. I feel like I was saying something about the 15 agility being powerful. Not entirely certain. The Orchid is going to help out a lot. I like the Glimmer Cape on Crimson as well. They do have a good substantial amount of magical damage on the enemy team. Oh yeah, the Shiva's on the Razor. Yeah, the Shiva's on the Razor, like I said, is oh right. The Razor gets the Silencer gets. That's a big. The Silencer gets every 7 levels. He technically gets 9 agility, which is not bad at all. At all. Sorry, not 9 agility. In 7 levels, he gets 9 armor, which is a lot. OB Ghost Ship is gonna hit him right on the face, and the Eclipse also will finish him off. So now the Razor is down, but Ben-Hur can still fight. He lost his Global Silence though, and they actually stopped the Legion Minor. Tracks good Xbox response to bring Ben-Hur back, and Yash just has to cure himself up, try to escape, but he won't be able to. In fact, he'll just die to Death Sama. Paulo still following through, has a Scream of Pain ready for Ben-Hur with your name on it, but instead finds Jesse Vash. Seems like the easier kill. Jesse Vash will end up killing Eden just with his Shadow Ward, and meanwhile in the backlines, Ben-Hur fighting Death Sama alone. That last word should be able to finish him off. Ben-Hur gets a bit more intelligence before he himself goes down to Ponlo's might, and Ponlo will be getting a wicked 6 streak in this team fight. Very happy with how it went, getting a complete team up against Nasty Potatoes. They only lose an offlaner in the support. Like I said, it's an offlane that's more of a supportish offlaner, and they still remain with the two main cores, the Queen of Pain, the Luna, with the Jakiro as well to offer some pushing power. Of course, it's only level 1 liquid fire because he went for more of a team fight Jakiro, hence the build, and hence the fact that he's playing so much more into the team fight. But with a Luna already in your team, you don't need much more than that, honestly. That amount of pushing power is already ridiculous. He also got a Yasha, which just increases agility by a lot. We spoke earlier about how much 15 agility is, and I think 16 is the same idea. Great, knows stops the duel completely. Actually, makes it so Crimson might even survive thanks to the Ice Path. Upheaval's crushing him. And use the dual breath before he dies. Might as well. Good idea. But of course, the Legion Commander being Yule Scepter makes it so that she can't win the duel. Really good Yule Scepter by Pondo, and doesn't sacrifice anything out of his own bag, per se, to help that out. So that's not bad. Goes for the 9 gold per minute as well. This is a fine little silencer. He's been silenced. They have a Yosa to stop his TP. Yeah, this is not going to go easy for you. Screen of Pain. The silence is gone though, so he actually can't use his spells. And a great Hurricane Pike usage did by silencer. Dude, you can afford to have yourself forward, the Hurricane Pike, the Queen of Pain backwards. Either way, it doesn't really matter, honestly. The total distance between you two is the same, but in this situation it was better because, of course, the Hurricane Pike. Well, let's play it in a second because Jules is about to die, I think. Oh no, the Hurricane Pike not used by TMT offensively. Okay, if you use the Hurricane Pike on the enemy, you're able to attack her 4 times with Glaives of Wisdom if she's coming at you, right? Just walking at you. So she has to blink offensively at you, or alternatively decide to walk at you and take damage. So it doesn't really hit, not really the best options because, like I said, it's a very, very powerful amount of damage for the Glaze of Wisdom. Even if he doesn't have enough intelligence stolen, he does have 80%. So, still 4 attacks. It's not an OD, but it's a Luna. I do hear some baits. Oh, doom. It's even just doing a bit of his tricks. Anyway, like I was saying, right now Nasty Potatoes do have a slight advantage. Not big enough that they can destroy Happy Feet, but of course, the Razor is not having much effectivity, and the Razor does rely a bit on snowballing. He's gonna get BKB now. And the Razor can go for late game items and be completely fine. In fact, it's not that big a deal. If you do go for expensive items on the Razor, they suit him quite well because of his style of play, his playstyle, which is useful even without many items. The issue is that, well, right now you only have a mechanism BKB. You don't really have much space to go for expensive items, and your farming speed still is deplorable. You do not go for the Midas, so you're still always kind of half. And oh no, a tool. Wasted an illusion. Now Nasty Potatoes know it's their time to fight. They don't have an enemy team doesn't have a tool, and they have a global silence though. Savage starting out to Legion Commander. There's the global silence already wasted. The Poto is gonna hit Jayo, and it's also gonna hit Legion Commander. Oh, Jay actually evades it. Good ice path though onto 3. Macropire as well. Now the Torrent, that's all they need. The Queen of Pain wants that Sonic Wave, but he didn't have enough time. The Torrent does hit too though, and the Kunkka is stopping everyone in their tracks. They're in the Macropire for so long. Luna though is taking a lot of damage here. Ben-Hur finally gets the kill on Eden in the backline. Pablo uses Sonic Wave, but a bit too late as it doesn't actually do much, and Ben-Hur is fighting against everyone and getting those kills. That sum also goes down to the Glaze of Wisdom damage in the end. Not having that, oh wow, Blink Daggers next time, that's interesting. We'll talk about it in a second, but not having the global silence to the duel did not seem like that big a deal for the silencer. Wow. That was a bit of a disorganized team fight, frankly. I think they got a little bit too cocky, like we have to fight here. And oh, this time it's the real Ponlo. This time it's the real Ponlo. Someone help him. No, he's gonna go down to Yash. 58 damage to his name, a bit more intelligence stolen by the silencer, and of course, a dead Queen of Pain. That's it. That's what they were looking for in the end, killing off that annoying Ponlo, making sure that the Queen of Pain can't have that much effectivity. And now Nasty Potatoes is going to start to rely on the Luna, who finally got the Manta style, and is now going to be building the BKB to be able to withstand the silencer damage to some degree. Maybe even force him, like I said, to go for the agonist. Now, that is a dead Roshan. Easy picking for the guys at Happy Feet. The silencer starting to get a bit more intelligence. 14 intelligence starting to be a bit more considerable. It's not that big a deal, but yeah, it's a start. Ogre Magi himself decides to go for some get a ton of experience, trying to get the Solar Crest up. It's surprisingly the Pipe of Insight. I actually did not notice this the whole time. Why the hell does he have a Pipe of Insight, or where did he find it from? How is his kill death ratio? 5, 7, 4. Oh, okay, he's got a lot of kill. That's why he's been able to get a lot of control. Right. Okay. That's a lot of kills and a lot of fun. Oh, Jakiro, yeah, fight in the middle of the Macropire to add some damage. Can't do it, but Yash was still going to solo kill onto him. That's a lame almost play. And honestly, you still have the option of going for the Axe later on in the game if you do want to kill off Luna solo. That's always a possibility. She's definitely not going to go for Link because she hates BKB too badly in this matchup. But the Axe then would be so useful because nobody can actually stop you. I mean, you're immune to damage. And your magic immune, so they can't really stun you. And the enemy team has no heals. So that axe is actually ridiculously powerful here. If you take away the Luna from a team fight, I guess the point of the or the duel is that you want to really everyone pile on damage onto them, so they don't ever consider the axe. But in this game, if you do catch out the Luna once in the team fight, you take her out for 8-9 seconds. Even if she does kill you, who cares? You give her a bit of duel damage. Probably not going to happen, by the way, because Legion has a lot of sustain with a moment of courage and has a better strength kit than Luna has even with her items. But of course, the Legion Commander has a Blade Mail help as well, and really Luna wouldn't be able to do much, so it's definitely a consideration for Yaj, much more than it would used to be. Like I said, in this game the BKB seems a bit weird, because you're not going to be stopped from initiating onto a Luna. Getting duels has not been your issue. Most of the time it's been either failing a duel because you got an illusion, or of course the possibility of Lincolns that can come out afterwards, but BKB does not seem like an idea. 4-staff Heaven's Halberd seems like much better choices here. Like I said, BKB on Legion really got enough, but you really have to consider the whole idea of, is this BKB what I need to initiate, or is it what I need during the duel? And a lot of Legions, maybe because they never played the hero too much, or never took the time to consider this, don't actually take into consideration, do I need this to initiate, or do I need this to get the duel? Or sorry, do I need this to get the duel off, or do I need this in the duel? In this game, the question is, well, it's uncertain actually. You don't really have many ways to stop Legion Commander, besides the Fissure, the Ice Bath, and of course the Xbox Spot. The Xbox Spot is the only reason why I would see you get a BKB, because of course the Fissure and the Ice Bath are both pretty bad ways to stop the Legion Commander and her duel endeavor, because she's probably just going to blink someone, and by the time that she gets that, then easy kill. You know, Shadowblade wants to kill Eden, but it's a terrible idea if the Luna's around. Gosh, please don't commit suicide. They see the turret, they're paying her out, they don't know someone's here. Instead of blinking over here getting a duel, instead they decide to leave, which is definitely the way to go. 30% 30 attack speed, yeah, definitely the way. You want 200 attack range or 25% curse slow, which makes the 37% curse slow. That's actually so bad. It's so actively terrible. 37% slow. You can actually give up your 200 attack range for 35% slow. 37% slow, sorry. Not 37, 47% slow. Actually, that's close to better scale. Now that I think about it like that. Ooh, really good evasion of the Ice Bath. Had they known he was going to blink that way, or he had such good reactions, they probably would just attacked him with a Queen of Pain or Gate or Yo Scepter or whatever. Just set it up. In fact, it was a bit weird that he just set it up with the Yo Scepter. I guess they didn't know who was around, but at the same time, it's still a bad idea to do what they just did. That said, the Silencer here, it's going to go for the Shadowblade, then Silver Edge, most likely. Takes away the Moon Blades and the Aura as well from the Luna, so takes away a huge amount of the damage, actually. 38 damage taken away, and the Moon Blade is pretty important. Passive, of course, dealing or nerfing half the damage the enemy team does is useful. And this is the Illidan build of Silencer. The Athos is missing, and it's surprising that he's not going for Athos, considering the Silencer is only played in the mid lane because of the whole Athos change, and not because of the Aghanim's or anything else. So it is a bit weird that he's not going for the Athos. But this build, this Illidan build of Silencer carry, still works out really well. The Shadowblade gives you a lot more initiation power, gives you a bit of escape mechanism. The stats you get, the 30 attack speed especially, is pretty useful on you. And again, like the whole point here is to steal, or not to steal, to deal damage with Gaze of Wisdom. Of course, he still suffers from the issue that he is any way to stop a TP, and that's still the issue for Hamilton in general. It's actually surprising that they haven't gone for something along the lines of an MKB, or now that's a Vice onto the Silencer. The Rod of Athos doesn't stop TP, so it's not really going to be useful. Maybe that's why they chose not to go for Rod of Athos, because they don't need that extra stun or silence or root. They really just need a way to stop TPs. The Razor himself could go for something as well. MKB perhaps is an option for him. Lincoln's is brought up to the Queen of Pain. The duels, that's a great idea, because duels are probably going to come out of the Queen of Pain at this point, which is why you want to consider the Aghanims. Because the Aghanims makes the duels shift perspective from the Queen of Pain to in the top lane. Actually, they get a dual kill on TMT, and well, that's exactly what they wanted to. Global Silence, easy kill. Yaj Ice Bath away. Now the Fissures, they want to get a counter kill at the very least, and they will manage to do so. The Silence is pretty hard on Legion Commander, and the Orchid is going to hurt her considerably. You also have to evade the Sonic Wave, but now fighting against someone alone. That's not the idea. Ice Bath, he's been X-marked the spot and torrented to his death. Silencer will also go down. Nasty Potatoes will recover 2 kills for the price of 1. Now, with the Ice Bath available, you can hit Jesse Vash. Will he able to land it? They will. Pablo just has to blink in. They have a Yule Scepter to stop him in his tracks. They already used the Orchid. He can't heal himself enough. They just need enough damage to finish him off with the Orchid. There it is. The damage of Nasty Potatoes is sufficient. And now they come. Ice Bath, but the BKB used just in time. Jo is going to go onto the dragon, going to take away Crimson's HP, and subsequently kill him. Nasty Potatoes will be losing their Jakiro in that engagement, but for the price of a Warlock, a Silencer, and a Legion Commander, definitely worth it. The Luna dying in the beginning with a duel, really smart duel with Global Silence to stop the initiation from the enemy team, worked out wonders. But of course, that is only 1 kill versus the now 3 or 4 they're going to be getting. The Torrent, the boat hits, and Razor is going to be electrocuted in the water, destroyed by Nasty Potatoes damage. Now, the Queen of Pain is able to get Jules to stop in his tracks, so the Shadow Strike, but of course, Jules, a bit too tanky to really bring him down. Nobody else is committing it. Ponlo decides to back out and go for that shield straight up. After the Lincolns, you need some of that armor to stop against the Silencer's damage, physical damage, as well as the Razor, and to some degree the Legion Commander. Prevent some of their damage, increase your power. And now Yaj is looking for a kill onto TMT. An easy duel it is not, but definitely doable. Okay, there they go. Start sitting in. Yep. Easy duel. No. In fact, suicide career. Suicide move. What would have saved you there? An Ag. See, if you're gonna make plays like that, an Ag is a pretty good idea. In the top lane, they also managed to kill Ben-Hur. Oh god, they managed to kill Ben-Hur just with a simple Macro Pyre. Nasty Potatoes. Quite happy with that, but does not seem too good. Top lane, they've selected out an Ogre Magi who's a bit off position, but I guess Jules is really confident. I think that's a really dangerous thing to do when you have a gem around, but I guess they're just trying to fight here. Ponlo comes in, they have a roll of silence, that's good. But of course, the Yosef is still available on Ponlo. He can still take that damage away. Oh, there's the Luna with the Eclipse. Actually hits out the Warlock and destroys him completely. Now Jayo is running up to his death, but luckily as BKB, Luna still hits really, really hard. And Desama comes in. No Fissure, no Echo Slam, so he couldn't use any of those. But the boat will hit Jayo right in the face anyway with the Ice Pants just to ensure in case he didn't have enough damage. Now Paulo dies to Ben-Hur in the backlines, but the poor Ogre Magi has been selected the next target of aggression. The Torrent will land right in under him. And the Ogre Magi will go down. Ben-Hur, meanwhile, who was forced to buy back, wants to get a couple more kills and, you know, make use of the buyback, but of course, he does not want to get that extra respawn time if he dies within the buyback limit. Yaj goes in, wants to get a duel on the TMT, there's a silence as well. Global silence completely wasted as Yaj is Yule sceptered up and made useless. 39:09. That's when Nasty Potatoes marched on the clock. That's when the last global silence was used. And this means it is time for them to push. TMT starts hitting these towers. And this tower is actually hurting Ben-Hur himself. So to be quite careful. Last word to silence TMT. Can't use any items, but of course he wants to Mask of Madness anyway, so who gives a shit? He's mainly physical damage dealer when he's on Eclipse. Yaj walks in a fight need, and they have to save him somehow. Where's the Fissure? Where's the Yule Scepter? Now finally, Yule Scepter used, and the Fissure to help him out with a Torrent to ensure the Legion Commander won't go anywhere today. He has a smoke, he has a Guardian Gauge, so he's able to take away the Shadow Word, but Legion Commander is very bent on his destruction, and with the upheaval, there's nowhere that Eden can escape to but to the graveyard. And with that, Nasty Potatoes, they do lose the Kunkka, but of course, in exchange, they don't really lose the duel against Legion Commander, which is a big point. And they do take a tier 3 in the top lane. No, actually, they took nothing in the top lane. So, they take nothing, but it's still a good team fight. I mean, killing Ben-Hur there and forcing him to buy back was a pretty big deal. And of course, now the Luna's going to start to be relevant, or at some point, Luna's going to start to be relevant and be able to just man-fight everyone. She has a BKB after all. She can dispel the silence easily with either Manta Style or BKB, and she even has a Butterfly now. The Razor, like I said, is going to go for the Aghanims. It's pretty obvious when you realize the build they're going for. Yeah, once you realize the build they're going for, it's actually going to be simple. Nope, in the bottom lane. Goodbye Silencer, stun, silence, and destroyed. Oh no, never mind, the Legion Commander helps him, Sonic Wave to finish him off, and great Yule Scepter to save the Queen of Pain. The Earthshaker disconnects last second. It seems like Nasty Potato is saying, this is why we lost the team fight, you know, this is why we couldn't really fight. And Happy Feet, and not too happy about this. Yaj is about to get the duel onto TMT, but the Leakers can come down in time. Yule Scepter is about to stop. Can they stop the duel? Can they stop the duel? Can they stop the duel? You do have a Hurricane Pike. You do have a Hurricane Pike. Go, they say. Will this happen in time? Hurricane Bike. Oh, BKB used the clips as well, and they're actually blocking with the link as the duel got blocked completely. The Warlock is going to be silenced and destroyed the boat, and only hitting the Warlock Golem, but that's not good enough. Eden now has to run away. Macropire, though, starts to hit the Razor. Now the Ice Path, they have enough damage. Eden actually survives here, thanks to the Echo Slam stopping Jay Orion distracts in the fissure. This allowing him to go anywhere. What a beautiful fissure. Now Ponlo and Destar are both chasing that Legion Commander. Ponlo has to go for some other target, and in fact, Legion Commander will be destroyed just by the carry and the support here. Ice Path catches Yules anyway. What a beautiful Ice Path by Crimson. And they're gonna get a team wipe against Happy Feet. And why did this team wipe happen? Let me explain this to you. That was the pause. That was definitely a pause. The Lincolns from the Queen of Pain was activated right after the pause came back, because she came down from the Cyclone and used the Lincolns from used Lincolns on the Luna, stopped the Legion Commander ultimate, and Luna still had time to use the Eclipse. That was it's unfortunate they had that loss, because that actually might have lost in the game. I don't know if they would have lost anyway, but whatever. There's the Razor fissure, really well fissured. That was a really good fissure by that Samurai. Now the Razor's gonna go down. Easy kill by Ponlo. That's 84 seconds on that Razor. Warlock also wants to join his friend in the Club of the Dead, and Jesse Bash, of course, it's invitation only, but hey, you've been invited to the Club of the Dead by Mr. Ponlo, who ensures that your HP goes down swiftly and quickly. That doesn't make much sense because that's the same fucking word. Liquid Fire to hurt this tower in the mid lane. Yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate pause. That really wasn't a bit of an unfortunate pause, but oh well, what are you really going to do? Oh, the Xbox is spot to deal the Luna up. Honestly, after that team fight, I'm surprised that they only went for that. They do know that the enemy team doesn't have any buybacks, right? Yeah, I mean, most of them were on cooldown. Legion Commander was the other one that wasn't on cooldown, and she wasn't going to buy back, so as to why they didn't just go and do it, I don't really understand. I guess the Roshan is a better option anyway. Okay, sure, Roshan comes with the cheese. You're pretty confident how the game is going. I don't think Nasty Potatoes meant to do that pause, because you would have been much more aware that pause would have won the game if you realized really what happened, right? And you just won from that. Easily take it by Nasty Potatoes. That someone has the cheese for himself, right? And who got the Aegis here? Was it Ponlo? No, TNT. I'll stock a shrine for free, because why not? Okay, there's a kill onto the Ogre Bad Judge. The Fissure, the Rapid Fire. They actually used the Fissure too late. The Ice Path is going to combine everything. And the Torrent. Not using the Fissure just yet. And the Duel. The Duel comes out before the Fissure could come out. The Earthshaker regrets his life. But now the Eclipse ready. And Joel's been stopped by the Ghost Ship. But in the backlines, Eden's actually suffering a lot of damage against his poor and annoying Razor. But wow! Both Razor and Banner get destroyed here by the damage Nasty Potatoes putting out. And now the GG will come out. Happy Feet say no more. We can't take this punishment. It is our turn to lose. The first match of the best of 3 will go to Nasty Potatoes. Congratulations on their victory, guys. My name has been DSwordfish. I've been your cast for today. Hope you've enjoyed the match as per usual. If you did, feel free to follow. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. My name is @DSwordfish on Twitter. I'll put it in the link below. There I also post all of the replays for these matches. That said, if you didn't enjoy the match, feel free to, hate on me in the chat. And we will be back with the game number 2 between Happy Feet and Nasty Potatoes very soon. And this best of 3. Remember that whoever loses the best of 3 will go into the, be eliminated from the tournament. And whoever wins will go into the winners or losers final against the guys from Geek Fam. So get ready for that, guys. We'll be back very soon. The last game, or what could be the last game between Happy Feet and Nasty Potatoes. Mine has been DSwordfish. I've been your cast for today, and enjoy some tunes while we wait.